This week we covered grief in my sensory classroom. Really tricky subject to cover in any primary classroom, let alone a sensory one, but a really important topic nonetheless. Lots of our sensory students experience grief lots in their life, not only the death of a pupil, sadly, that we experienced last year, but also lots of adults and children coming in and out of their lives and then never coming back. That can be a kind of grief too that our children face, so it's a really important topic to cover. But how do you do it with sensory learners that are working cognitively at 3 months to 3 years? How can you make it meaningful to them? So I thought I'd talk to you about how I did it today. I started off the session reading this beautiful book, Rabbityness by Joe Epsom. It talks about all the things that rabbit like to do. Rabbit liked doing rabbity things. Rabbit liked hopping and jumping and twirling his whiskers and washing his ears and burrowing. But he also liked doing some unrabbity things like painting and making music. And it made him so happy that all the other rabbits caught his happiness and he filled the woods with colour and music. But one day, Rabbit disappeared. The other rabbits were very sad. They couldn't find him anywhere. The woods were quiet and grey. All that Rabbit had left was a hole, a deep, dark hole. But down the deep, dark hole, Rabbit had left them some gifts. There were lots of things to make colour and music. In time, all the rabbits discovered they liked doing unrabbity things too. They filled the woods with colour and music once again. And this made them think of Rabbit, which made them very happy. So we started off with that book. And you can make it into a sensory story if you want to. You can use some hopping and jumping toys, some wool for whiskers, some paintbrushes for painting, instruments for music. And it made them feel very sad. You can have a look at the mirror and make a sad face. Or a happy face when they talk about happiness too. After that, we made our own pictures and played music in the style of Rabbityness and remembering our own friend. I poured all of the instruments out on the floor so our children could just freely choose which way they wanted to play. And we played our friend's favourite music in the background so we could play along to his favourite songs. And then we made our own pictures as well, printing out pictures of his favourite characters so we could paint them too and we could have them around us to remember our friend. I'm really hopeful that in time, just like the rabbits from the story, if we do this year and year, the legacy of our past friend will live on and our classroom will become loud and colourful and fun once again. If your classrooms experience loss, I highly recommend not shying away from it with your sensory learners, but more to think outside of the box and be creative about how we can include them in processing this loss and finding ways for your friend's memory to live on.